Hello, my name is Jonathan and I'm a Ruby developer. I'm also very connected to the Postgres ecosystem and I am very excited to share something I did with Fast. So Fast is my library that I built some time ago and it allows you to search through code in the abstract syntax tree. And I did a work here that also enable us to work with SQL support. So you can also use for SQL. So let's dive into this. I'm very excited for this moment. So let me show how it works. I am in the project here inside the Fast repository, and this is a place where my library is just available. So if I say here, for example, fast AST, this is the way I would parse a Ruby. So for example, integer number in Ruby is represented by the parser with this type int, and I can also have a children here. And this is a library that allow you to search like in a regex style, but let's jump into what you can do now with SQL too. So you can say fast parse SQL, and then you can say, for example, here select one. That's a valid SQL if you don't know, and you can just see how it works. And this is very similar to the previous one, and you can search internally here. So for example, if I search here, for example, for a const, it would just say like, oh, this is a const. I can maybe want to say like, oh, this is a const of ivol, and this is also an ivol of something. So you can do like a Lisp matching style, and then you can also search for several types of values. So for example, you can just say, for example, 2 or 3 here, and then you see that it will not match, but for example, if you add 1, it will match. And this can be very useful to traverse, and this is also useful, for example, let's say you say, for example, fast.parse SQL, and then you can say here table customers, for example. And table customers is exactly the same as you can say fast.parse SQL, select star from customers. So this is very, very cool because you can just compare and understand like several different types of abstract syntax tree, and you can reuse them. So that's the coolest part. And what else you can do here? So for example, let's say I am going to just explore this example with the typo here. So let's say we have this, and then we can search here, for example, first rel name. So the first rel name here is this thing, and if you go here, you can also check for location, and the location here will tell you exactly what's the part of the file that you can replace. So this allows you to also do some very cool refactoring here. So you can say replace SQL here, for example, and then you can say, for example, rel name, and then you can just put a new name. So for example, let's say table. That's my, or let's say customer without the 2 double S. Oops, that's not the proper interface, but I will find it in a minute. So I guess fast.replace SQL is the right interface. So I can say what's the pattern and what's the AST and what is the replacement that I can have. I was trying to just build some shortcuts. I thought I have it in my hand, but that was not the right one. But we will find it in a minute, and then we will be exploring replacements as the next chapter. So stay tuned.